Hey guys, welcome to the Baseline. Thanks for joining me again today. Hope everybody's having a great day. Today we're going to talk about Iran's last vial, the lie, the bomb, and the war they keep begging for. All right, so let's just try to rip the Band-Aid right off. How many years can a country be 3 to 5 years away from building a nuclear bomb before we all stop pretending and just say somebody's crying wolf? And they've been doing it since who knows when, maybe since I was in middle school, I don't know. But that somebody is, of course, Benjamin Netanyahu. And the wolf, well, that's always been Iran, that last war that everybody seems to want. Except there's a little twist. This time the wolf might actually have a fang or two left. But the people yelling about it are the same ones who built the cage, rattled the keys, and now want us to clean up the mess again. So here we are. Let's talk about the near nuke, the anonymous leak, and the familiar old chorus of people wanting to bomb. And here's what they're saying again: we need to bomb Iran again. Trust us, this time it is urgent. So here's where the absurdity actually begins. It's 1992. You guys are going to have to imagine way back. Benjamin Netanyahu back then was a young parliamentarian with the slick hair and the Cold War hangover. He gets up in the Knesset and says, within 3 to 5 years, Iran will build a nuclear bomb. And 3 to 5 to so many years later, that was 1992, guys. Today, it's 2025. And that prediction is now legally old enough to run for Congress in the United States. And every few years since then, he's pulled the same move over and over again. They're close, they're right there, months away, maybe even weeks. And remember that, guys? It was a caricature, like a ridiculous cartoon. Like a cartoon bomb he pulled out of the UN in 2012. It looked like something Wile E. Coyote would buy from Acme, right? That string and the thing. Anyway, yet here we still are. Still no nukes, still no mushroom cloud, but somehow still no chill. So why are we talking about this again now? Because according to a new leak, an anonymous Israeli military official, no name, no face, but apparently real enough for the New York Times, which I don't know how much that says or doesn't say, but this leak says that Iran might still have uranium buried under rubble, bomb-grade uranium, like legit material that's still there, still active, just trapped under concrete dust and years of paranoia. But let's try to break this down. After a series of United States and Israeli strikes, yeah, plural, both of them, the entrances to some of these nuclear facilities were apparently destroyed. But not all uranium inside was vaporized. Some of it may actually have survived. Now, imagine nuking a bank vault and then realizing the money inside didn't burn. You just locked it deeper inside. So now the same voices that told us mission accomplished are whispering, well, maybe we didn't accomplish that mission after all. And now we get to the real circus act. And this is where it gets fun, because on one side, you've got Donald Trump shouting from his golf cart that Iran's program is totally obliterated. Gone, dust, bye-bye. He said CNN is lying and that he's threatening to sue for even questioning it. And the irony, the moment he screamed fake news, that's when I knew something probably did survive. So on the other hand, though, here comes Israel and the Israel officials. Not exactly impartial judges, but they are saying, well, actually, there's still uranium. And if they try to dig it out, well, who knows? We might need to bomb again. And of course, they probably will. It's the oldest play in the book, and here we are again. So, say there's a threat, attack that said threat, say there's still a threat that exists, rinse, repeat, request funding again and again from the United States. And it works every time because Americans have a low memory span right now. We're scrolling TikTok and we might have ADD because of all the social media that we're exposed to. But if we take time, let's try to zoom out for just a moment, because what this leak is really about, what they're really floating, is that even if Iran just had one vial left, one tiny stash of bomb-grade uranium, that's enough to justify another round of war. So think about that for a second. It's like blowing up someone's house, then saying, wait, they still might have a butter knife in the rubble. Better call in another airstrike. And that, again, seems to be where all this is heading. The insanity isn't just in the logic, it's in the constant repetition of it. Because for over 30 years, this song has been stuck on loop, and people, we just keep dancing to it. Iran, bomb, existential threat, bomb them, defend democracy, send money, send troops, and repeat. All the while, people in the United States still suffering in so many different aspects of their lives. So it seems like it's that friend who always thinks their ex is stalking them, and at some point, it's not the ex, it's probably you. So now, let's not be naive either. Iran is no angel. They have, in fact, sponsored proxies. They've stirred up conflict through Hezbollah in Yemen, in Syria, as have we. It's the works. It's just chaos all the time. But here's what's also true. Israel's strategy has always been to either neutralize or co-opt every power around it. Jordan, co-opted. Egypt, peace-treated into silence. Syria, imploded. Lebanon, constant pressure. So there's a lot of control around there. But Iran, it almost seems too big to co-opt, too proud to cave. So they get the forever threat status. And from the Israeli security mindset, and it's a deep one, baked in trauma and history, the only way to stay safe is to keep everyone else destabilized. Now, I don't know how productive that's all going to be, but Netanyahu becomes the Dick Cheney type, right? This is what he looks like, where even if one vial of enriched uranium remains, it's still like we must obliterate Iran. But he doesn't want to pay for it. Why should he? We're going to do it. America's got the bunker busters. America's got the money. America's got soldiers. So America, please do it for us. And somehow we always end up listening to this. So let's back up a little bit and let's talk about Trump's role in all of this. Because this man is having trouble finding Iran on a map nowadays, but he knows how to spin the headline. The Epstein list is catching fire, indictments are circling, his base, it's twitching a bit, right? They're upset about some things and then stand by him on others. And historically, when powerful men get cornered, they reach for that missile button. So here's the thing, though. Trump's base, they were sold on anti-war. Even the people that weren't his base were. And the minute he bombed Iran for the first time, they flinched. And the second time, they shrugged. And the third time, if we do it, there might be a revolt within MAGA itself. And you can't say you're America first and then get tricked into World War III by a guy holding a 30-year-old cartoon bomb. Even his most loyal fans are going to go here. And they're saying, wait, we're back in the desert again? For what? Another maybe? And how many people are going to die for that? And you know what makes this even messier is no one actually knows what Iran has. I mean, not Trump, not the Pentagon, not the Israelis. I mean, maybe not even the Iranians. So who knows? But they built these facilities deep underground, like an Iron Man villain level deep to survive a strike, like the one they just took. So yeah, maybe something survived, maybe it didn't. Who knows, right? But the point is this: we don't know. And because we don't know, the drums of war are beating, and they're beating again and again and again. So here's the final truth bomb. If this is about just one vial of uranium buried in rubble, if this is about a what if and not a what is, then is it really about safety or is it really about control? Because it's about narratives and money and power and keeping the war machine spinning even when the engine's out of gas, which it apparently seems like it is. Because when someone tells you the threat is always right around the corner, every year, every decade, every administration, it's no longer about defense, or at least it doesn't seem like it, right? It's about dependence. And I don't know about you, but I'm not ready to send another dollar, another drone, another headline to prop up someone else's paranoia. And especially when it involves American citizens or American troops dying for these kind of things. Now, if the only reason for war is that we might have missed a spot, then maybe it's time we finally clean up our own house. So I think it's important to, stay skeptical and don't let the noise drown out the nuance that exists with all this. And remember, just because the wolf is real doesn't mean that every shepherd is necessarily honest. I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for watching The Baseline. We're going to succeed when we help our audience see more clearly, think more deeply, and we all act more wisely together. And let me know what you guys think about this. Am I way off base? Do you think that we should attack Iran, or do you think a maybe is enough to get through and do that? Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys on the next round of The Baseline. Cheers, everybody.